Want some bacon?
No, man. I'm good. I don't need bacon.
What are you, Jewish?
No, man. I just don't dig on swine.
Why not?
Because pigs are filthy animals.
Come on, man. Bacon tastes amazing. Carnitas, pork, fucking pork chops, ham.
Okay, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never eat that filthy motherfucker because he's a filthy animal, okay? Pigs root and sleep in shit. That's filthy. So can you eat something that doesn't have sense enough to disregard its own feces? No.
Okay, well, what about dogs? Dogs eat their own feces.
And I don't eat dog either.
Well, I mean, do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal?
I wouldn't go so far as to say filthy, but definitely dirty. Hey, man, dogs got personality, man. That shit goes a long way.
So, by that rationale, if a pig had a better personality, it would cease to be a filthy animal?
Is not just the, and I'm not just going to say listen, because that's an overrated note. Just listen to him, listen to him. Refer to the other person. What choice are you going to make this next time around? And the general note is, hey man, fucking infuse yourselves, because this is some impassioned shit. It builds to it. You gotta build. Build. Build with it.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Sewer rat can taste like pumpkin fucking pie, but I'll never know because I'll never eat them, okay? Look, pigs root and sleep in their own shit. That's a filthy animal. Okay, I'm not gonna eat anything that doesn't have sense enough to disregard its own feces,
Okay,
man.
what about dogs? Dogs eat their own feces.
Fuck, I don't eat no dog, motherfucker.
I mean, do you consider dogs to be a filthy animal?
Filthy? No, I wouldn't consider them filthy, but they're definitely dirty, okay? But a dog has got personality, man, okay? Personality goes a long way.
Okay, so by that account, if a pig had a better personality, would you consider it a filthy animal?
You have to be talking with charming fucking pig, man, okay? Like the Brad Pitt, George Clooney of pigs, okay?
Okay, good for you, man. Good, good. Lighten up, man. You've been sitting there all quiet.
I've been sitting here thinking, man,
About what?
about the miracle we witnessed.
The miracle you witnessed. I witnessed a freak occurrence.
Okay, what's a miracle?
An act of God.
Okay, what's an act of God?
I guess it's when God makes what's impossible possible. You know, hey, but what happened this morning, that does not count.
Okay,
Okay?
you're missing the point. Okay, it's not about what the fuck happened. It could be that God stopped those bullets. He changed Coke to Pepsi, found my fucking car keys. That's insignificant. What is significant is that I felt him, man. Okay, he touched me.
Okay.
Okay.
Why would God get involved?
I don't fucking know. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. But
Okay.
I'm not going back to sleep. Not after this.
Are you serious? You're actually gonna walk away?
From this life, yeah.
Fuck. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go?
Wherever God puts me, my brother.
Oh fuck. Do you know what? There's a name for that, okay? It's
What?
called being a bum. Okay.
Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you about. You seem like a really nice person, you know, so I didn't want to make you uncomfortable.
Ooh, that doesn't sound like mindless, boring, get to know each other kind of chit chat. Sounds like you actually have something to say.
Yeah, only you gotta promise me that you won't be offended or anything, okay?
Oh, that's not something that can be promised. I have no idea what you want to ask me. Go ahead and ask what you want to ask. My natural response could be to be offended. And then through no fault of my own, I may break my promise to you.
No. Well, let's just forget it then.
That would be an impossibility. Something as intriguing as this, that would be an exercise in infutility.
Is that right?
Hmm? Besides, isn't it more exciting when you don't have permission?
Alright. What do you know about what happened to Antoine?
Who's Antoine?
Tony Rocky Horror.
He fell out of a window.
That is one way to say it. Another way would say that he was thrown out of a window. Another way would be that he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus. And yet, another way to put it would be he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus because of you.
Is that a fact?
No? It's just what I heard.
Who told you this?
They.
They talk a lot, don't they?
Yeah. They certainly do.
Well, don't be shy, Vincent. What exactly did they say? Let me help you, Bashful. Did it involve the F word?
Actually, there's something I did want to tell you.
This doesn't sound like mindless, boring, getting to know you chit chat.
Yeah,
This sounds like you actually have something to say, huh?
yeah, but you gotta promise not to get offended, though.
You can't promise something like that. I mean, I have no idea what you're gonna ask. I mean, you could ask what you're gonna ask me, and then my natural response could be to be offended. And then, through no fault of my own, I would have broken my promise.
Okay, how about we just forget it?
That's an impossibility. I mean, trying to forget anything as intriguing as this would be exercise in futility.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. And besides, it's so much more exciting when, you know, you don't have permission.
Okay, you know, what do you think about what happened to Antoine?
Who's Antoine?
Tony Rocky Horror?
He fell from a window.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Another.
Let me get more specific.
Okay.
Did you feel like you got your point across?
I think so, but I think also, I'm thinking, not feeling, I feel as if, I guess, yeah, I feel like I got my point across.
Okay.
Thrown out by Marcellus because of you.
Is that fact?
No, just something I heard.
Who told you this?
They?
They talk a lot, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Pastor, no pauses.
Well, don't be shy, Vincent. What exactly did they say? Okay, Bashful, do you want me to help you? Did it involve the F word?
No, they just said he gave you a foot massage.
And you believed him? And?
No end, that's it.
They told you that Marcellus threw Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window because he gave me a foot massage?
Louder,
Yeah.
both of you, louder.
And you
louder.
believed him?
At the time, it seemed reasonable.
Marcellus throwing Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window for giving me a foot massage seemed reasonable?
No, it seemed excessive, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I heard Marcellus is very protective of you.
A husband being protective of his wife is one thing, but a husband almost killing another man for touching his wife's feet is another thing.
But did it happen?
Look, the only time that Marcellus or Antoine ever touched anything of mine, it was my hand, and that was when he shook it. And I met him once at my wedding, and then never again. You know, the only people who know what happened to Rocky Horror and Marcellus are Marcellus and Rocky Horror. So, but you know, when you guys get all together, you're worse than a sewing circle.
Which is what makes this.
There was something I wanted to talk to you about, but I mean, you're a nice person. I didn't want to offend you.
Oh, okay, so this isn't your usual boring, mindless, getting to know you chit chat. You actually want to talk to me about something.
Well, only if you promise not to get offended.
No, I'm not promising that. I have no idea what you're going to say, and then if you say it and my natural reaction is to get offended, by no fault of my own, I have already broken my promise.
Okay, then let's just forget it.
No, that's impossible. You can't just forget something as intriguing as this. It's an exercise in futility.
Was that a fact?
Right, a little bored and.
Yeah. I want someone who's actually gonna, other than the people I usually see who are giving me this boring rigmarole, he's actually interested to talk to me like a person.
Right. That's what we talked about before, which is what makes.
He fell out of a window.
That's one way to put it. Another way to put it is he was thrown out. Another way to put it is he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus. And even another way to put it is he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus because of you.
Is that a fact?
No, that's what I heard.
Who told you this?
They
They talk a lot, don't they?
They certainly do.
Well, tell me, Vincent, what else did they tell you? Tell me. Okay, I'll move it along for you, okay? Don't be shy. Did it involve the F word?
No, it involved Tony Rocky Horror giving you a foot massage.
And
no and, that's it.
so you heard that Marcellus threw Tony Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window because he gave me a foot massage.
I mean, at the time I was told, it seemed reasonable.
Marcellus throwing Tony Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window because he gave me a foot massage sounds reasonable.
No, it sounds excessive, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And plus, I heard that Marcellus is very protective of you.
A husband being protective of his wife is one thing. A husband almost killing a man because he touched his wife's feet is something else.
But did it happen?
The only thing that that Antoine touched of mine was my hand when he shook it. The one time I met him, which was at my wedding, I haven't seen him since. Look, the only two people who know about what happened between Tony and Marcellus are Tony and Marcellus. When you guys get together, it's like you're just a little sewing circle, isn't it?
Okay. Go.
Actually,
With this attitude right now. Hate that attitude. Go.
Actually, there's something I wanted to tell you, but you seem like a nice person. I really don't want to offend you.
Oh, it doesn't sound like boring, meaningless getting to know your chit-chat. Sounds like you actually have something to say.
Only if you promise not to get offended.
You cannot promise something like that. You have no idea. I have no idea what you're going to say. You could ask what you're going to ask, and my natural response would be offended, and then through no fault of my own, I would have broken my promise.
Okay, let's just forget it then.
No, that is an impossibility. To forget anything as intriguing as this would be an exercise in futility.
Is that a fact?
Besides, it's much more intriguing when, you don't have permission.
Okay, fine. What do you think about what happened to Antoine?
Who's Antoine?
Tony Rocky Horror?
He fell out of a window.
That's one way to say it. Another way is he was thrown out. Another way is he was thrown out by Marcellus. Even another way to say it is he was thrown out of a window by Marcellus because of you.
Is that a fact?
No, just something I heard.
Who told you this?
They.
They talk a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, don't be shy, Vincent. What exactly did they say? Here, let me help you bashful. Did it involve the F word?
No, they just said that he gave you a foot massage.
And...
No and, that's it.
You heard Marcellus threw Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window because he massaged my feet.
Yeah.
And you believe that?
At the time I heard it, it seemed reasonable.
Marcellus throwing Tony out of a 4-story window for giving me a foot massage seemed reasonable?
Well, no, it seemed excessive, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I heard Marcellus is very protective of you.
Yeah, a husband being protective of his wife is one thing, but a husband almost killing another man for touching his wife's feet? That's something else.
But did it happen?
But the only thing Antoine ever touched was my hand when he shook it. I've only met Antoine once, and that was at my wedding. And never again after that. The truth is, nobody knows what happened between Marcellus and Tony Rocky Horror, except Marcellus and Tony Rocky Horror. What happens between you scams? It's like a sewing circle, I swear.